This song is literally called Abandoned Windmill, by the way. It's very appropriate for us to cue in on this.
Can't even hear
No,
it.
it's not. This windmill is not abandoned.
Not yet.
Yet.
Are we live?
Yep.
All right. Good evening. Welcome back as our denizens of the forest and Ilya answered the call of the hunger. Last time we left off, you guys had journeyed back into Bilchester under the dead of night. And long story short, you kind of roused the town as you investigated the windmill. And while Nash was running around in town, you guys were able to discover that there was something hinky going on in the windmill, but kind of got caught in the process. Things didn't immediately come to blows, but a giant monster appeared. It started talking to Emery, basically told you guys, actually, I was about to start talking to Emery when you guys basically were like, hey, can we have a conversation with Einval? Einval came in, roused from his manor, and was basically like, yeah, we eat corpses. We eat corpses because the crops went bad, and the options were to eat corpses or just become corpses. You learned that maybe there was someone else pulling the strings on Einval, a different voice coming from the golem type thing that was wrapped with Emery. You guys kind of decided, hey, this is all no good, even if they had their reasons. And you're thinking maybe back out, live to fight another day, and then come back. But Einval saw through that shit, and he's like, you know what? You guys are just going to continue to be a menace. I've got you by the balls. Let's just end this shit. And so fighting ensued inside the windmill. As you guys were duking it out in the windmill, Nash, with a horde of villagers, all of various states of ghoulism themselves, had started making their way back to the windmill. Emery started kicking levers and pulling on ropes inside the facility, and it seems as if Bojidar himself has come to bless the denizens of the great forest, because the wind started pulling on the windmill blades to such a fervor that with the rest of the windmill engaged kind of violently, the building had started to shake and threaten collapse.
Yeah. All according to plan.
Wretch was recently pushed onto onto the windmill grinding stone, about to get squished when Ilya saved his life, pushing, instead doing an Uno reverse card trap and pushing Einval onto it and knocking Wretch off. His shadow kind of essence, he seemed to have enslaved some shadows onto him, has been drastically shredding away your life source, just by being in his presence, which is also a magic dampening essence as well by what it appears. And so that is where we left. Now, you guys were discussing your next steps as far as what you guys wanted to do, whether you're going to attempt to flee, etc. I wasn't sure if you guys would want to have that conversation before we kick back into combat more, but something to note. So, I am going to drop us back into initiative order, but I'm gonna do it. I'm not gonna just like immediately put us right back into initiative order because we had next was gonna be Nash and then Emery, and then it was gonna be top of the round. And interestingly enough, because of what Emery rolled as far as the countdown on this place crumbling apart, that would happen at the start of the next round. With Nash kind of coming up and across the bridge with his host of people, I think that it would be more cinematic for you all to just have a round of describing what are you going to try to do to escape, etc. And have it all happen in the same round, so to speak. Because also, I know, like, Wretch, you have that ability of, like, surviving a collapse, sort of, like, all the damage sort of stuff and whatnot. And I think that, like, just going through a round of what are you guys doing as this place falls in on of itself makes the most thematic sense at this moment, as Nash is, like, right about to see this happen in front of himself, too. So, with that information, I'll give it to you guys to talk to amongst each other before we kick it off, essentially.
Quick question, just a So you said that, and I don't know if Ilya would have noticed this because he was not upstairs when Emery tried to bonk it, but physical attacks didn't seem to do much to Einval and Scorpion.
What you can determine is that the ghoul, golem, as well as Einval, both have physical resistance, at least.
So does physical mean you'd have to, like, physical mean, like, I couldn't punch him, or physical mean I would need to have some kind of magic to augment my attack?
Yeah, so there's magical kind of damage, there's elemental damage, physical damage, and in the elemental, there's like acid and stuff like that, but a silver blade is considered negates the the physical resistance as well.
Okay.
But your weapon would be fine. It would bypass physical resistance, assuming that he has no other resistances.
Okay. So the dead are allergic to sunlight, but not necessarily fire? That's a meta question, I'm just curious.
Yeah. You are able to determine, based off of this conversation, I intuit anyways, these particular creatures have an aversion to sun.
Okay.
A lot of profane creatures have an aversion to sunlight, but not all undead do.
Okay.
Nothing, you haven't gotten any information that would indicate that these creatures are particularly flammable either.
Well, everything is if you try hard enough, but yeah, I understand. I mean, Ilya wouldn't, but I do.
Okay. Well, I know I'm still stuck in the grasp of the monster, but my plan is just to, like, I can bend organic matter and stuff to my will, so, like, yeah, if stuff was, like, falling around me, I'd, like, you know, basically try to hold a little bubble around myself, so to speak, you know, like, or, like, make stuff not fall on me, basically. So, that's what I think I can do.
Yeah, I can just leap out a window.
I should be unconscious right now, but I'm not because I'm a mega badass. So
Love it.
on my turn, I got to heal or I'm going to pass out on the spot. So I'm going to hope the building collapses before my turn, but we will see.
I'll allow. So, is it at the end of your turn? By the end of your turn, or before your turn starts?
Delay going unconscious until the end of your next turn.
Yeah.
If you don't get back to normal HP or strain, don't go unconscious. Wait, if you do get back to normal HP or strain, don't go unconscious.
My intention is that this building is collapsing during this series of turns. So it'll resolve however you want it to resolve. And then it'll be the end of your turn. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Then I don't know. I guess I'll.
Are you going to try to tank it, or are you going to try to get out of here? Because I'll allow either the building collapses on you and then you do your heal action, or vice versa, whatever semantically. Because it's scene-wise, it makes the most sense that it can happen either way.
Yeah. I was gonna use a maneuver and then an action, so I won't have any movement. So in a meta sense, I would just be standing there as it collapses around me as I like channel my faith to try and heal myself and not die, and come what may, damage-wise. Besides, with 2 movement speed, I don't think I'm getting to any of the walls anyway.
All right. So
going from the center of the room to kind of the center of the room is not much of a difference.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
One thing you could look for, if I may suggest, is like a central beam or a pillar that isn't necessarily going to collapse with the rest of the building.
It's all coming down. Did you ever see Van Helsing, 2009? When Frankenstein's little windmill collapses?
Oh, yeah.
Ain't no central beam surrounding that. It's all going down.
Yeah, the central structure is the rotating mechanism.
Vertical pieces would theoretically would be safer to stand near.
It depends on how much weight they're carrying.
I'm just trying to help.
No matter what.
Instead of just having him be out in the open with absolutely
I'm
no
sorry, I can't help it.
My faith will endure.
Yeah, it's fine. He's gonna pray. It's fine.
So we'll resolve this in like order of least complexity, probably. As the building starts to shake and crumble, the gnoll ghouls panic, start looking up, and the creepy thing holding Emery drops her and attempts to jump down to help Einball.
Boo. I was happy, and then I wasn't happy.
Yeah. You're gonna run and jump out the window?
Yep.
Okay. Go ahead and give me a coordination check.
Fuck. I know I'm really good at this, but
you just know
it's something's not gonna be good.
Do you want to proc wall
run? What would the difference be?
It allows you to run up and down walls and solid surfaces. So.
Yeah. I would just have to take a strain for that, right?
Yep.
Okay, yeah, I'm gonna do that and get the fuck out of here.
Okay. So go ahead and roll.
Okay. So do I get a green die for this? Because of my glove?
Yeah.
Okay. Thank fuck. Ah. 2 and 3.
Okay. You run and jump out the window and kind of like do like a vault style and are able to run your hand, like your claws from your gauntlet down the wall and kind of use it as an anchoring point. I'm assuming that like kind of a back window over here is probably the most accessible, unless you wanted to run past Emery. Which one would you prefer?
I'm just trying to get out the nearest window.
All right.
Looks clearest.
So you jump out this window onto this backside as the the windmill blades are clipping into the building underneath of you, and are able to tuck and roll onto the top of the small story, like kind of lean-to shelter that's over here in kind of like this kitchen area, but you're on top of the small roof. At which point you're able to run down off of that to either side that you want. So do you want to end up in the front area where the storage shelter is and where the people are, where the ghoulish people are, or do you want to end up in the back in obscurity?
We are past obscurity
Okay.
now, and I think our best bet is to try to show the townspeople exactly what Lord Einval has done. So I'm going to be out in front and hope for the best.
Okay. So as this thing starts collapsing, Nash, you see a figure darting up and onto the roof and sliding down in front of the building, muttering parkour.
I like how he was all proud of himself when he got wall running and then forgot he had wall running.
Well, I know that I had, because I have Swift, like advanced Swift,
Mhm. It's
but I was just thinking of the backflippy part of it, not like the run along the wall part.
Not the Lucio.
And also really wanted to burst out of a window with like my arms crossed, like some anime shit.
He still kind of gave you the anime shit with the glove, like the gauntlet thing going down the wall, you know?
concrete shrapnel coming down the wall behind you.
Yeah.
Quick question: am I supposed to see anything on my screen, Josh?
Kinda, yeah. So, but you don't have a figure here, so that's what's up. So I will put you on the map. Since
Excuse me, sorry.
I'm gonna put you a little bit further back. So you can kind of see that's the windmill up the north side of the map there, but you are a little bit further down the bottom of the map, actually.
Well, I'm still on the bridge.
Yeah, so the bridge leads to right where you're standing.
Okay.
Down here. Right, so that's kind of, I'm trying to get it. I don't have like a map. I don't have a meta layer of maps upon maps to build out this place. You get that map or you get this map.
I'll just make sure you weren't taking the creative decision to move me.
Nope. So you're still back that way.
Okay.
And it's pouring rain and a heavy mist. The wind is howling, and so it's just now that people are starting to notice the damage to the windmill as the first person kind of springs free. Emery, you see this monster kind of starts scaling down out of the scaffolding, shrieking as it does. What do you do?
Wait, I'm confused. I thought it was already. It already let me go, right?
Yes.
So it already dropped me.
Mm-hmm.
And the building's crumbling down. Like, I was planning to just, like, try to, like, channel to, like, try to make sure that nothing, like, lands on me. Like, things fall strategically, or I have something protecting me, or, you know.
Okay, but you are up in the scaffold at this point. You're part of what's coming down.
Okay, yeah.
It's not just above that you have to worry about.
Okay, then...
You can make a bubble with it, like a blossoming flower, and you're in the center.
Yeah.
There's a window to your left too. You could Mary Poppins this shit to try to get out.
Mary Poppins.
There's,
Mary
if you would like to
Poppins,
try to rapidly get lower or whatnot, or cocoon yourself to a wall or something.
If I can hop out, like, how far? I'm on, like, the second story?
Yeah, the window's right here. Yeah, you're 20 feet in the air at most, which is 2d4 minus your roll, but also you can use your magic vine snare ability to use a witchcraft check instead.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna, like, get on the outside of the building, like, jump out the window but still holding on to it, because I don't want to, like, jump out. And then I want to try to use, like...
You want to dangle from the window from the outside.
Yeah.
Okay.
And kind of, ride the tide, so to speak, with my abilities of, like, as it's falling, not, like, moving stuff around me to kind of fall gracefully with it.
Yeah, absolutely. So, looking out the window, you starts to basically vault out the window, holding onto the ledge. Give me a witchcraft check, and this will cost you 2 stamina to do.
That makes sense. Ugh. Is anyone having now Discord's like popping up on my Google, like in the corner of my Google, even though I have my pop out somewhere else. It's like blocking my screen over here. I have no idea how to get
I
rid
know
of it.
Discord had an update where it wanted to be all up in my shit a little bit ago, and I had to go into the settings and disable that.
Okay, I'll have to figure that out in a second. Sorry, it's like blocking part of my sheet. Okay. Okay, my bad. 1, 2, 3, and 4.
I rolled 1 and 4.
Oh,
So
okay.
you quickly grab one of those sacks next to you that looks like it's got some scraps sticking out of it. And as you throw it out the window, it like blows up, so to speak, and you're able to like tie off grab a piece of it, and basically as you're holding on to it, the windmill blade catches the bag as it swings around, and it pulls you out the window. But the portion that got hooked, the branch, so the limb breaks. Very like as the fabric entwines itself with the fabric of the windmill blade, it constricts and breaks off that last piece of that blade, I suppose, the post. And as it falls down, it wedges itself into the like axle area, which actually happens to cause the rest of the blades to start collapsing down onto the opposite side of the structure. And so the blades are no longer swinging down perilously on your side, as they've snapped off and started to cave in the opposite side of the building. So it's now teetering to lean away from you as it starts to collapse.
Okay.
And as it starts to collapse, you're able to use the rope to kind of like hold yourself, because now the building is starting to pitch forward, and you can actually position yourself up onto the side of the building. As these bits fall down and collapse, they start landing around you, Wretch, and Einval, who's standing there, and you hear him shriek as the giant stone cylinder crushes over one of his legs and pins it in place. He manages to get one of his forearms underneath of it and stop it, but it takes that arm. Here's the part of the where the grain goes, and it actually pins it and splinters that arm into place as well, as he slowly gets this thing to stop between Emery's shenanigans up top and this. What do you do?
Me?
Yes.
Well, I ignore that entirely. Well, do I ignore that entirely? So he's trying to stop it from crushing us.
The pins partially crushed him, essentially. No, it hasn't like ran up and over him any further.
Okay, well, now my thing's going to wear off. I'm going to pass out, and I haven't taken the damage from the falling building yet, so I might be screwed.
No, but if you want to just brace for it, your ability will. I'm going to say the ability lasts through the building collapsing. But just thematically,
Okay, yeah.
what do you do?
I'll drop my obsidian dagger and just two-hand my holy icon and pray through the pain.
Okay, I'm assuming you're going to cast the spell that puts you back to 1 health as the building collapses. So we'll just say that that's prepared for this, right?
Yeah.
Cool. The scaffolding starts raining down on top of you guys, and the monster that is down, trying to pull on Einval. You see as it pulls, the leg of Einval tears free, but his arm is still stuck, and then a big post, whoosh, slams down and spits right through the golem, in a shower of gore. The Null starts to run as they can. One gets hit by a brick as they try to dodge through these doors and out of your through your sight lines. One just plummets out of the rafters and lies unconscious on the ground as the whole building starts to crumble and collapse. And that is the last that you see as another board comes down and blocks away the rest of your sight from everyone else in the building. Emery, as you ride the building kind of up onto the top of the rubble, the rest of the stone wall collapses down onto where you last were. And now you're going to be standing on top of the rubble, so to speak. Which actually, and Nash, you watch all of this like this isn't quick. Sorry, this isn't slow. This all happens very, very suddenly in front of you as you're wringing your hands on the axe. And I'm just going to actually have. Shoot. I'm going to do this. I'm going to break my map.
Take that map.
Mm.
Let's see if this works. Why isn't that working? Really? You're gonna make me delete every single line like this? There's no way. There we go.
So out of character, guys, should I distract these people and keep them here, or risk them getting closer to you and continuing the fight?
I don't. I would suggest keeping them there until that's obviated, if you know what I mean.
I won't be able to stop the ones if they decide to go that way between me and you, because they're already on the other side of the bridge from me.
Right, but I'm saying, like, there's already a huge distraction now that obviously changed the course of what we're going to do, but I would recommend keeping them back just in case, because obviously I can't roll deception to save our lives.
Ideally, I want to not fight them and just, I don't know, get the heck out of here and, like, have them turn on Einball, but I just don't. I don't know that we got the gumption for that, so.
I definitely want to kill Einval personally.
You don't want to see him, taken out by his men? Come on.
I mean,
How
that
are
would
you two
be...
doing on health?
I have 11 wounds out of 24.
So you're about half dead. Okay.
Yeah, and then strain, I'm worse off. 8 out of 13.
Yeah,
But-
but you can go to sleep without issues. What about
Yeah.
you, Sarah?
I'm not taking the big sleep.
I'm at 13 of 20. So. My armor is gone now, though.
We have definitely been in worse condition and come out on top.
Okay.
Yeah, but that's with our healer still alive.
Optimism.
We're staying
You
with
never
optimism.
know.
No, we're trying to
I
be
mean-
realistic.
We have the maid sorcerer. I'm not sure what we would call Emery's class of magic. We have our
Cleric?
two best
Artificer?
cleric. No, I'm not sure.
Or no,
Yeah,
not
okay.
cleric. Druid.
A druid.
Yeah, Druid.
Yeah. We have a druid who can make us a memorial for Wretch, and we have the two best killers this side of your special forces friends who can avenge him.
All right, let's wait till I'm dead before I get avenged.
Yeah, no, let's just keep
I'm
him
willing
alive.
to avenge
Keep him
your condition. How about that?
Let's find out my condition before we avenge
Yeah.
it.
Right?
I
I
can't
gotta do the
remember,
math here.
Austin. Were you one of the people that got squished in the upside down?
Kinda.
I got turned into a red paste by the stairs.
Yeah.
Ah, and then you just rematerialized.
Yeah. That was
Yeah.
good.
Yeah, that can't happen here.
I mean, if we ask Einval really nicely, maybe. Like, hey, buddy, I know we tried to brutally murder you and shit on everything you stand for, but please.
So, as the building collapses, Ilya, you find yourself in front of a kind of a startled crowd of people. Emery, you find yourself on top of a pile of rubble. Nash, you find yourself on a bridge full of people who have this shock in their face and this kind of horror of having witnessed a catastrophe. And they kind of forget you in this moment. What do you do?
I'm sorry, that was directed at me.
Yes.
While everybody's distracted, I would like to see if I can force my way through the crowd to the end of the bridge facing the tower to try and put as many of them behind me as possible.
Absolutely. Easily done given your strength and given the situation. They're not even paying attention to you. They forgot.
And then
that
my
you're
main-
even-
And then for the rest of it, I'm basically gonna play toll booth until I kind of figure out what everybody's doing.
I don't know what that means.
And by everybody, I mean the citizens.
So,
What does that mean?
I'm just going to turn to Nash and say that Wretch is still in there.
Hold on. Nash.
I'm
see,
like nowhere near you.
What?
Yeah, Nash is on the bridge, like just at the end of the bridge at the bottom of the hill. And so you get to the end of the bridge, and what do you do?
I played toll booth. I'm trying to not let the citizens cross the bridge.
Okay, so a couple of people go, overrun, smite. We have to help somebody. Quickly, grab Gannett. Grab. They call out for the other villagers in town. And they go, we need to help. And people start flocking to see if they can come and help with the disaster. Does anyone know if anyone was in there? They start shouting amongst each other.
Okay, so with no signs of violence from the people on the bridge, then I will, on my next turn, I will turn and make my way to the rubble.
Okay. As you start making your way to the rubble, you do hear a couple of shouts and screams from the front area, of which Emery you can hear. It's the sorry, here we go. It's several of the townsfolk going. Einval was in there. So was Luca. And they start shouting the people that were in the building at the time of its collapse. And it is your initiative.
Do you feel a little bad about Luca?
No, fuck them. Fuck all these people. Oh, that's you, Rich. Never mind.
Emery,
Oh, you're saying. Sorry, I didn't
Yeah.
hear what. You're saying it's my turn?
it's your initiative.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I didn't understand that. Realized you were talking to me. Do I see any, like... Okay. The building has collapsed, but do I see any, like, movement under the rubble? Because I saw where the monster and Einval kind of were as afterwards, right? And so, like, I'm just turning around and, like, looking to see if
you're
I
on
see...
top of the whole pile of rubble at this point. You weren't next to them because you jumped out the window.
No, I didn't say I was next to them. I said I saw where they were.
Gotcha.
As I was leaving, so I'm just turning back around to look in that
Yeah, if you wanted to
area
give me...
and like where Wretch was. You know what I mean? Like just like looking where I knew people were.
If you wanted to give me a perception check.
Okay. Perception is 2 green. You're too young. Two triumph and 2 success in the triumph.
Okay.
I don't know why I did that on this roll.
2 triumph. Wow. So as the boards and stuff fall in and whatnot, there's still some pieces that are settling. I'm actually going to quickly go to Wretch's turn just to see how his stuff resolved. I'm going to go back just to see what you would see. So kind of finishing up his turn. Everyone inside the building, including Wretch, suffers 40 soakable damage.
Holy fuck.
40 soakable, baby.
Let's go!
This is physical
All right.
damage.
Would love to know what your
I
health
have
is.
55 wounds.
Okay. Clutching at your amulet and trusting in your god to weather this storm with you, you may go ahead and carry out the spell that you had basically readied for this building collapsing.
All right. So, I'm going to cast... What question? If I have a free hand, is it 2 maneuvers to drink a health potion?
No, it's a single maneuver to drink a health potion.
All right, sweet. Then I'm going to do Strength of Faith as a maneuver. Once per session, you may use this talent to add success equal to your ranks of discipline, which is 2, so I get 2 success. And then advantage equal to your ranks of willpower, which is 5. So I start this roll with 2 and 5.
Nice.
And I'm going to do Beauty and Life. Hard difficulty, decrease wounds to threshold.
Okay, hard check. Let's go.
Am I still getting nerfed by the shadows?
You know what? You are. You
Let's go.
are within the presence of Einval still.
Wouldn't have it any other way.
1 second.
Why'd you give his shadow back?
Okay, channeling. Got it.
Okay,
All right.
so he
With my Strength of Faith thing, I'm at 7 and 9, and I can move 2 advantage to success or 2 success to advantage.
1 second. So he's gonna do it's the sorcery.
So you're either 7 and 9 or 9 and 7.
Yeah.
Sorcery's 2.
Listen, if you beat that with just a hard check, that's messed up.
Right.
Do this
He's
right.
got
Want me to
all
watch
the
him?
You
bonuses.
just have to roll 7 failures on 5 dice. I rolled 4 failure, 4 threat.
All right, then I leave it as 7 and 9.
Very
So
good.
I get to 0. Sorry, I get to 19 wounds out of 19 threshold.
I love
And
it.
then taking 2 strain, I pop my only health potion, and I get down to 14 out of 19.
14.
And then I immediately use...
You have 14 damage. 14. Let's go.
14 damage, and my threshold is 19 at the end of this, yes. And then I'm going to use Second Wind and Heroic Recovery, which are both incidentals. One gives me 2 strain, the other one gives me strain equal to my willpower, which is 5. So I get 7 strain back. So I'm now at half my strain threshold, and I have 5 wounds left to burn.
Nice. So you
I
were
am fine.
you were smout by the full force of the ceiling. And as it hit you so hard that it pushed you through the floorboards and into a small crawl space under the floorboards where you can see like a little bit of light coming out from under the buildings just because you're so small that you happened to just like get crushed into this like little cubby spot. Um, that is where we will continue on your turn. But for Emery, you see as you are getting up onto the top of this, you can see down there is a kind of like a radiant light, and you see two little feet kind of scamper under the floorboards. Two little rattan feet under the floorboards. You
Did
also
Wretch get smaller?
No, he's just amorphous in size. No, it's a lighting thing. You also see Einball. Barely. You can see a flesh tone and a bit of a tattered cloak. You see an arm and a leg that have been left in the place where he got crushed. But the rest of him is not there.
When you say not there, are you saying I can't see it because it's under rubble? Or are you saying...
Based off of your triumph, he tore himself free and wasn't underneath the direct impact of where all that rock was. But he is
Alright.
presumably
I think he's-
buried in the building somewhere.
With some pieces missing.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Okay. I'm gonna assume it was an action to do all that looking.
That was a maneuver.
Maneuver.
There was just a lot because I had to go back
Yeah.
and
Oh, yeah. No, I'm just saying. And then I'm gonna move. Does it take me? I'm assuming it's hindering terrain.
yeah, everything
So-
that was once building is hindering terrain at this point.
Oh my God, Wretch, how are you? In one piece. I kind of just run up to you.
Oh, you're gonna have to climb down into the building in order to get to where he's like. You're looking down through a hole. You're on the top of the rubble, and he got shot through the bottom of the building into a crawl space. So you just saw like
Okay.
you just saw him like like
So-
there's a radiant flash of light.
So there's not a good way for me to get to him or him to me. Is it?
No, it'll be a difficult like climb down. If you wanted to be, like spend an action to try to like get down and through that, you can. But then you'll be kind of stuck down there and have to get back out.
Okay, I'd rather try to find a thing to help him get out of there, like try to look around for a path for him, or like a ladder, or like
Do you
like
have a
rope,
rope?
or
Yeah.
no, that's why I'm saying I'm looking.
I wasn't sure if you had a rope
No,
on you. or
I
not.
wish I did. I have a vine viper.
You have the rope that, or the cloth that was tied up to the blades. If you wanted to cast your spell to like basically unlash it and then throw it down or whatever, then you could easily do that. Try to fish them out.
How long is it? Is it long enough to like?
Yeah, it's fine.
Okay, yeah, I will do that. Try to get him something.
While you look for that, I'm not going to do an action. I'm just doing dialogue. While you're looking for that to respond to your like, how are you okay and all that stuff, we're just going to kind of like distractedly answer you. Like, I find your lack of faith disturbing. And I'm kind of like looking around for Einval, like, again, not actually doing an action, just thematic, like kind of reaching for another obsidian dagger in case I need to keep doing this.
Nice. I'll say it's just a cantrip spell to get the already established fabric down into there with them. So if you
Oh,
wanna
no,
just-
no, I can't cast a spell. I thought you were saying I could just tug it.
Oh, just give me either a skullduggery or mechanics check.
Yeah, I can't spend any more strain. I'll pass out.
That's fine.
You said I can use mechanics?
Yep.
Okay. 3.
Fortunately, I rolled 3 failure and 1 threat.
Alright, I'm too shaky from all this adrenaline. I can't tie a good knot with my little finkies.
Yeah, you're having a hard time figuring out how to like actually rip this off without it just like ripping a Kleenex size away. And with that though, it's Wretch's turn.
So do I, now that it is my turn, to continue what I was doing, but now actually put some oomph behind it, do I see anything?
Give me a perception check.
I'll be right
Okay,
back.
is this a maneuver or an incidental?
Just for a quick look, I'll say you can do it for free.
Yeah, it's more of glancing over the rubble and like, he's right there, rather than like looking every nook and cranny.
Yeah.
I got
So this would be
1 and
vigilance.
2.
This would be vigilance. Sorry.
Oh, vigilance?
yeah,
got
because
it.
you're not really looking. You're just kind of like getting your surroundings.
Then I need to roll different dice. 4 and 1.
You don't see anything.
Okay. Not seeing or sensing any immediate danger, I'll stop kind of searching my belt for the knife and instead head closer to Emery's part of the debris.
Okay.
Since it's hindering terrain, I move 1 square.
So you could scamper out underneath the floorboards. This is kind of what I was attempting to allude to as a viable path. Otherwise, you can attempt to climb out, which will be an athletics check.
Yeah, I'll definitely try and climb out, especially because I can't see any of the previous foes. I don't know if I kind of want to go down there.
Got
I mean,
it.
they'll probably be injured, but still. So
Sure.
I'm going to try and go up.
All right, give me an athletics check or coordination.
Okay. To move 1 space.
No, just to determine like because you're trying to climb up and out. It's not that you're moving 1 space in this direction. It's that buildings collapse on top of you. There's not like a linear path.
Understood. I'll go with athletics.
Okay.
Two and 2.
Yeah, you're having a hard time getting up and out of all of that shenanigans. It's hindering terrain for her because she is on top of the pile. So you're stuck in there. You could attempt to go the under route if you would like, with your extra maneuver, or you could attempt again to climb it.
I will pocket my holy icon and use both hands and attempt again.
Sure.
Not that it actually helps, just kind of like.
Well, I rolled a lot worse this time, so maybe it did help.
1 and 3.
Yeah, so you start making your way up and out, and you can make it about 10 feet up through the rubble. We'll say that you have effectively moved 1 spot, but that's just to show that you're halfway to the top.
Got it.
Okay. Ilya.
I genuinely want that rubble cleared. So how far am I away from Nash?
Nash is at the bottom of the hill, approximately. Like 75 feet-ish.
Where would I have to be for him to be able to see me?
We'll say thematically you're like visible from there because you're higher up.
Yeah, I'm gonna. I'm not. Would I need to roll anything so that the villagers understand that I'm sincere when I say that we need to clear the rubble? Because I want them to see the monster that Einval was under the command of?
No. But if you would like, I could consider this as like the start of a persuasive process. Because you know now that several of these villagers are they're bona fide ghouls. Most of them. And you know that Einval or whatever presence has Einval in its times has them in its times, right? And so maybe trying to convince them of some humanity would be worthwhile in this whole process. So if you would like to roll leadership, it's not that like it's to show magnitude of goodwill and heroism and being an inspiration for the forces of good more than anything else, right?
Do I get any bonus die because I really mean it this time?
No. You want to really mean it this time? Spend your next level up on first presence based stuff.
Presence, that doesn't kill people.
Weird, the absence of it might.
So far. Yeah, I'm just gonna start trying to clear the rubble and like gesture for everybody and to call to Nash to help me clear the rubble.
Okay, give me a leadership roll or chomp.
Oh boy. Yeah, they're both gonna suck. Oh fuck me. 0 and 2.
Yeah, no one seems to be. You're like clear the rubble, and there's already a guy pulling a brick off. Like, no shit, and it's already working at it.
Well, I was trying to call to my really big strong friend.
Oh, he hears you. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, well, I'm going to start clearing the rubble, and I'm guessing it would be skullduggery to try to know, but I want to make sure that a lot of the effort is towards clearing the area of the rubble where the scorpion monster was.
Sorry, can you roleplay that a little bit? What exactly are you? How does that look?
Well, I know roughly where Einval was when he got crushed, and I saw that thing scampering down to try to help him. So I'm trying to focus my efforts roughly in that area of the building.
Okay. So you run kind of like over onto the side of the building and start clearing over there.
Yeah.
All right. What do you say to these guys? Like, we'll focus over here. They were over here, or
Yeah, they were over here, which is true.
okay. Yeah, that's absolutely fine. So this guy will instead walk over to this side, because they're next, and they start making their way, like that.
What about the facehuggers? Do they start helping too?
Right? Yeah. Actually, I was about to hide those for now. 'Cause I'm on the map right now. So yeah, several folks start coming up to help with the whole process there, and Nash, you see them start to do that, so these couple guys are from the bridge with you at this point. What do you do, Nash?
I decided I'm actually really tired.
Oh,
One
that's a
time
lot
you
of
don't
brick.
use your strength.
Oh, that's a lot of wood.
Yeah,
don't know.
that run took a
Yeah,
lot.
I will. I'm sorry, Mallory. Did you Emery? Is it? It is Emery, right?
Yeah.
Have you pointed out where Wretch is?
I'm up by Wretch.
Yeah, I'm right next to Emery.
And I was
A
talking
little bit
to him,
down.
but I didn't like
Okay.
shout out to the general. I don't know if you would have.
Well, I guess I would see you standing on the building, like looking down at something.
You saw me
So I guess-
trying to fumble to get something to like put it down, but
So I would make my way towards where Emery is.
Okay. So she's like on top of the building at this point. Like trying to look down. So yeah, you can start heading that way. 2, 3, 4.
1, 2. Oh. All right.
Emery, back to you. Wretch has made it about halfway up out of the pile.
Okay. Look at this. I'm gonna put my my yellow hat on here and just start thinking like I know about mechanics and structures and stuff, and like a lot of people are like moving the debris right now, and I want to almost like I would like to get off of the building, but I also would like to make sure the way that they're doing stuff isn't going to be like detrimental or like cause more problem, you know, like hurt people.
Okay.
Oh, and I thought it was by the edge. Did
Sorry, you were at the edge, and then did you move on your turn?
No, I didn't.
So thematically, the reason why I moved you is because you, as the building collapsed, you kind of made it onto the top of the pile. So I was just putting it there to reflect it, especially since you were looking through the rubble down into it.
Sure. Okay.
Towards where Wretch was. So.
Okay. So I'm gonna be I'm gonna move and try to get out of here. I don't know how that works.
You can give me a mechanics check or a coordination check.
Well,
to try to pick your way through.
2 and 4.
That's fine. Yeah.
Okay, is it still hindering terrain, or is it?
I'll say that for the sake of like since you're doing a roll to try to get through it, that's opting out of the hindering. So
Okay.
You're fine. You can just move out.
Okay, I'm gonna be there on kind of the edge of it, and then yeah, I just wanted to take a second to see if it looks dangerous, like the way people are moving everything or anything like that.
Do you want to do a roll to like coordinate them to make sure that they don't pull things out that's going to collapse it further onto like Wretch?
Yeah.
Go ahead and give me a mechanics check.
2 and 2.
Yeah.
2 and 2. You start guiding people and, kind of pausing Wretch while he's climbing as they pull something loose, so to speak. And with their efforts and with your efforts, Wretch is able to get up to the top of the pile, so to speak, and up and out through a side portion of it, not all the way to the top, so to speak. But now there's the light of the stellarium above him, so to speak, at this point, as you kind of help pull and tug and push to get him out.
Yeah.
And then it's you, Reg.
So I'm out now.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I turn around and go back in.
Dies.
Let's see where.
Hey, it's really cozy down there.
So Emery and I are on the lip of this garbage. My holy icon is away, so I don't have to worry about putting it away. Do I see my mace anywhere, or was that in the thing? Because someone took it from me back when I was outside with Einvald, and then Einvald turned me around and said, "We're going inside." And I was like, "All right." But was that guy still outside, or was that guy inside and had my shit?
He was one of the gnolls.
Inside.
Yeah.
Okay. There's been like 80 gnolls, so forgive me for not being
yeah.
like, oh,
Not
okay, that's...
No.
All right, so it's in there somewhere.
It was the one with the name tag of Bob.
You can spend a story point if you'd like to have someone pull a brick aside, and there's the corpse of the guy who was holding it. Otherwise,
I know how
it's in
weapons
there
are.
somewhere.
I know how important weapons are, so I will give you my story point for it to be like at your feet because I got pushed out of the building.
Well, we're not in a rush just yet, and I don't have story points, and we might need those for talking. So, for now, I'm just gonna sit on the lip of the rubble and keep an eye out for it, or keep an eye out for any bodies. and I'm gonna. I have medicinal herbs. I don't want to use them. I just want to thematically chew on some.
Okay,
Um,
that's easy enough.
So
I
I'm just kinda
also
like,
think we should get the hell out of Dodge before citizens start questioning what happened.
doesn't Ilya want to figure out what happened?
Yeah, we brought the building down on top of their leader, and now they're all going to be angry once they figure out who did it.
Yeah, I'll be more aggressive about getting my weapon back if we're leaving, but I thought Ilya was very invested in seeing what's down there, so
So at this point,
maybe I'm
I
missing.
want.
I'm going to temporarily get out of turn order. You guys are all on or near the rubble. There's people moving rubble at this point. It is time sensitive, but go ahead and just slip into like first person if you don't mind, as far as your interactions at this point.
Is Ilya... We can see Ilya, right?
Yep.
Alright, I'm gonna gesture him over.
I can just like hop up there, right?
Yeah, you can make your way through the rubble up that way. You're graceful as hell.
As far as I
Yeah,
understand,
so
we're
graceful.
sitting on the edge of like a pit at this point.
Well, you're sitting on top of a pile.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, excuse me. Leaning in really close to Wretch and Emery's, we need them to see that thing. Just for the off chance that they don't know what thing or who was controlling Lord Einval.
There, I saw
Yeah.
parts of Einval over there. That make me think he's, without those parts, somewhere else. I'm not sure where.
Yeah,
So I
he's,
kind of show you guys like where I don't know where that is on the map, but
Yeah, he's been partially dismembered. We can't let him live, but something's got to happen with these townspeople, and I'm hoping that when they see that thing down there, they'll understand the gravity of what's happened here. Part of them might still be human.
the cook was very nice, so I hope they're got some humanity left, I guess.
My hammer's somewhere down in there. I'd like to wait for it.
Well, I'm not sure how good I am at lifting, but I guess it maybe, if they see us doing what we can.
So once again, I spend a story point. I'm like, oh, you mean this mace right here?
I mean, sure, if you want to.
All
right.
Yeah, one of the guys rolls a brick aside, and they go, Luca's dead. And you see the mace.
But if he's not using it, right?
Yeah. I go over and retrieve my mace and kind of like half-heartedly. Oh, what a shame.
One of them just goes, "What happened?"
The windmill collapsed.
Something.
The brake failed and the wind got it carried away and it couldn't handle it and it just went kapoom.
Yeah, we were talking with Lord Einval and brake failed. I got out of there as soon as I could.
All right.
I'm just gonna nod because if I open my mouth, I'm gonna say stuff again.
Who would like to roll the deception roll?
Not
and then
me.
everyone else can give an assist boost.
Okay, so one.
I'll give the assist.
Who has the most cunning?
I have 3 green.
I have a track record. I will boost.
I have a track record, meaning you don't want to do it. All right. So yeah, I'll go. Since it's me, I'm gonna. I need you to know that I'm not great at lying. One of the steals I literally got when we went into the
Yeah, but you're
Corteo
not lying.
Corpus
The brake did fail.
was no. Listen, let me finish. One of the things I got from Corcoro Corpus was that I'm literally honest. Okay, so I'm gonna just go into mind-numbingly annoyed, turn into a drone about the details of the structure failing.
Okay.
I'm gonna really hone in on those.
Wait a second. You had something from Corkeo follow you out?
Yeah,
Yeah.
personality.
She had a
pieces
whole brother
changed.
follow her out.
Yeah.
Pieces of my personality changed when I was there.
I feel a
With
little
you.
left out. I don't think I came out of there with anything.
No,
Well, you're
I think
a
it was
Except
dog
for
just
being the
now.
only one that didn't die.
Well, welcome to the club now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. I mentioned that you got like a bit of a sob going, and then,
And then, yeah.
And done.
3 success, 1 advantage. Oh wait, and sorry, the boost. Or do you want to roll your boost that you gave me?
should be 2 boosts.
2 boosts?
Yeah, roll 2
One
boost
from each
die.
of them.
Okay. Okay, 4 and 2.
Oh my god. Okay. The boost dice. I rolled 3 failure on two purple dice.
Great.
So,
Oh.
Thanks for the blues.
they go. Lass, it's over. It doesn't matter. We just gotta save the ones we can. Now put your back into it. They shout to one of the gentlemen who's
Did
working
he
at the
just say
front.
it's over? What's over?
The building.
Well, the
collapsing.
collapse is over.
Felix, someone grab Felix. And there's this. You hear moments later. This large Jotun blood comes around and starts helping move rocks at a pretty fast rate. Being the town carpenter, he's actually helping point out the areas not to move as people are pulling stuff aside.
As I'm pulling rubble, can I tell if everybody's a ghoul?
Would you like to? Yeah, give me a investigation check, or actually, investigation or knowledge dark.
Yeah, and best bet is investigation.
Okay.
Oh, 3 and 1.
Okay. No, not everyone is a ghoul. Something that you notice, there's a couple of. It's weird. There's a couple of normal people. There's a couple of very ghoulish, gaunt, like yeah, kind of pulling things aside. And there's another group of people, who are missing their lower jaws.
Oh.
As they are slowly, sluggishly trying to help move some of this stuff aside.
Like
Did
Roddy
they,
missing it?
Hmm?
Or like Roddy missing it?
or is it like a lump of scar tissue?
Like,
Right, but I mean,
Carved
is it
out.
Like missing
And-
as in zombies missing their jaw, or like it got ripped off but they're still human?
like it got ripped off, but they're still human. And that's when you notice, with that roll and with my nothing roll over here, other people who look human, some of the ones, you kind of connect the dots. The people who had that infected look to their face, something wasn't right. And with the things scurrying along on the ground, on the rooftops, it leads you to believe something has been parasitizing the people here, one way or another, in some sort of gross mimicry.
Okay.
When
Like-
you were talking to the tavern keeper and you shined him with holy light, and something coiled up and constricted on his throat, and his jaw undulated and pulsed. The face huggers are creatures that attach themselves to people, and basically they slide their tail down into their throat and puppeteer them. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's nasty. So they like your bottom jaw.
Yeah.
Well, we know there aren't any quitters in this town.
The first guy who gave you guys the sign with like, "Don't eat the wheat," he was missing his lower jaw. He had presumably escaped from this town. Anyways, so if you guys are here, if you're going to try to cut and run, then the opportunity is going to pass. Is that what you guys want?
I think we should get out of Dodge.
Yeah, I think we need to heal.
I think we need to like slink away while they're all distracted.
Yeah,
Like
I
in the
mean,
opposite direction of town.
Yeah, there's 3 exits from this island, 2 into town and 1 into the not into town.
We could also just like cross the river at any point, couldn't we?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we could take that
Yeah.
like southern bridge or whatever that was like, you know, like
Mhm.
on the way past Einvalls or whatever, like, right? And kind of.
Yeah, but that's going into town.
I know, but there's a bridge.
There's just one here.
Oh, there's a bridge there. Okay, sorry, I was thinking there was just.
Yeah, because this is the bridge that I was on. Or no,
Yeah.
yeah. So yeah, if we left this way,
You look so cute on this map.
and that's the scale too.
Yes, I believe it.
Hilarious.
Yeah, that's I'm cool with that plan.
Yeah.
yeah, we need to come back here with like a strategy. I mean, Lord Einvall's gonna die. We've kind of created the blood enemy, but yeah, I think we need to. Now that we know what's going on, we can get out of here and heal, regroup, and come back with a plan to kill Einvall.
If he's not already dead.
If we don't find a body, we should assume that he's alive. I mean, he's partially dismembered,
Yeah,
but
parts
not
of the body.
dead enough for me.
You want to just take some of those just in case, or?
Take some of those pieces.
Yeah.
Takes up.
Okay. I'm assuming you guys attempt to whisper at each other and give each other the head nods then to
Yep.
scooch out.
Yeah.
Scamper.
Yeah, we
we-
become the Homer from the memes where we just disappear into the bush.
Yeah.
Oh,
right.
I was thinking it was more of like when you like dine and dash a place, so like everybody slowly just goes to the bathroom one by one, like until we're just all gone.
Why are you a
Um,
pro at dine and dashing?
As you guys go to leave, each one of you can give me a. So this will be a group cool and or stealth check. You can choose which one you'd like to do.
Would I be able to use my headdress?
Yeah, you can just use your headdress and instantly pass. Just wink out of
Hell yeah.
existence. I think it's Ilya.
So it's a sorry. It's
Oh,
a
I actually
group.
have points.
So you can do a cool or a stealth check, but I basically average the results.
Oh, okay. So we each do our own, and then.
Can I do anything that's brawn based?
Nope.
No, that's.
But if you
noticeable.
fail, you'll be doing something that's
Can-
prawn based.
Can I sneak away scarily so nobody even wants to look at me?
1-0 for the little Braven tail.
Okay.
2 and 2.
All right.
2 and 1.
All right. You guys managed to ignore. You manage to be less of a distraction as the collapsed building, and are able to get out in the last of the night. On the road, fleeing town, you guys get a couple hours out before the curtain calls on the Stellarium and day begins. What do you guys do now? Where do you go?
Retro, are you still pretty hurt?
14 out of 19 total threshold, yeah.
All right, I believe I can. Yeah, I can give you another health potion, but it's only going to heal you 4 instead of 5.
Well, we might be able to get to safety and, like, rest more officially.
I'm just saying I could if you are worried about it.
Yeah, it doesn't. The sunlight will remove all the damage from the shades, won't it?
Yeah, all of the shade stuff will go away.
Ah, thank fuck.
The shades. Wait, does that mean we heal the damage dealt by the shades?
Yeah, because the shades reduced your wound threshold and reduced your strain threshold. They didn't do damage or anything like that, so all of that returns back to normal.
Oh. All right. Well, I would say we go find the werewolf man and report back that, you know, well, one, what we found, and two, that, you know, there's still evil afoot.
Okay. You guys find your way back to Hirondadral that evening, taking the whole day to set a pace that, I mean, it's still raining and windy, and it's been a long night, and so it's a bit of a drudgery, even though Ada shines his light upon you. And so with that, you know what? Give me all a resilience check. This is a weather-based resilience check. If anyone has like cloaks or furs or something like that, that helps.
I have my cloak that'll protect me against cold. Does that pertain?
Yeah, that'll help.
Does my yellow cloak count? That's just to say I mean no harm.
It is a cloak, so it's on top of its ability just being a basic cloak, so you get a boost save.
I wear my
Although
pink
I don't know if I need help resisting because it's based off of prawn.
1 and 5.
Okay, that's a failure.
3 and 1.
Success.
a
Nice.
triumph to success to advantage.
Oh yeah, you feel great.
8 and 3.
You were blessed by Bojidar himself. Bojidar came and knocked over the tower, and it was fortuitous. And you find welcome and peace and solace in the rain and wind. Coming across the campfire of Hirondadrolf, he sits in quiet repose with his guests, who is in much more calm state than when last you saw her.
Honestly, I am exhausted. I don't know that I could go into like a whole thing to explain that. What happened to them if all of that happened at night and we traveled all day to get here, like I might just collapse to sleepy time.
Right, Ilya certainly can.
He doesn't look up from what he's doing, and he goes, "There is stew enough for everyone. I smelt you a mile away."
Is that bad, huh?
Thank you, Rondadrov.
Rest is always good after a long night's hunt. You've earned it.
What's happening in Bilchester is worse than we thought. And Einval had been deceiving us from the start. He was not merely the victim of his hubris. He was the instrument of the evil that befell Bilchester. He was creating ghouls
Deceiving
because
us? Wretch is staring daggers at you.
what? I thought he was bad from the start. I didn't know how bad.
I still think there's just some
You're evil.
miscommunication going on.
Definitely not evil. Every other word with that guy. He
I mean, he fed us.
Yeah, and we didn't turn into ghouls. He has been feeding his people corpses to turn them into ghouls because he was afraid that the crop failure would kill them first. He is under the employ of some profane evil pretending to be the voice or the vestige of a calamity for my people. The Iglos? It's something?
Ibalig.
Yeah.
Ibalig. This flesh monstrosity formed from the corpses of slain people was acting as its phylactery, but based on what it told us, what Einval told us, what truth we could glean from it, Einval had been groomed by this great evil from a young age, and we knew that if we were going to face whatever's in that village, we needed time to regroup and heal, but that it's far worse than we thought. We knew that there was evil afoot, and I gestured a wretch, but not to this level. And we think that I believe, based on what I saw, that there is something else feeding on the people beyond just the profane and beyond them being turned into ghouls.
I'm looking into the fire a little unfocused and just kind of like mumbling to myself, but it's audible. Sometimes when gangrene sets in, healthy cells are corrupted, and the whole leg must be severed. Sometimes there is no cure, but the flame.
And I
Translating, I think the only way to solve this is to kill all of them. Like, they are way too far gone. It's not their fault what Einval did to them, but they are flesh-eating ghouls now that, even if we kill Einval and just leave them leaderless, they'll roam the countryside like a pack of wolves and eat people. Like,
They
I don't know.
only
We need-
eat the dead and the rotting.
yeah, but I'm
that
still
we
not
know
fine.
of.
That we know of, and I'm also not fine with that. Again, I mean, Paladin.
Yeah. I mean, this is like offensive. Sorry, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, as a character, that's my decision. As a player, in a meta sense, if the other three of you were like, "We are not killing these people," I'll roll with it. But just letting you know what Wretch's inclination is like. These guys are doomed. I think we just have to purge them and be on with it.
Yeah, I don't think anything. Like, I agree with Ilya speaking now. Wretch is right, for the most part. They were not all infected, but we destroyed the windmill, which is going to slow them down. But if we let that evil out of Bilchester, if it gets back to Lemoore, we're going to be facing an unimaginable plague. We have to kill Einval. We have to purge the town of those ghouls, and we have to cut this thing out from the root.
Some of it was already going into Lemoore. Right? We saw that cart going into town. Hopefully we're not too late. I'm sorry, I doubted you at first, Wretch.
Give me a knowledge dark check.
Okay.
Yeah, as a character, Ilya doesn't want to kill innocent people, but everything that's happened around this is philosophically repugnant to him.
2. You're there's a couple of dots that you've connected recently, but right now, the thought that kind of comes across to you is, hold on. There's misinformation here, son. This doesn't add. Unfortunately, it was a failure with threat. But the line of thinking, you're like, hold on, something doesn't with your concerns.
With my concerns or the group's concerns? You know,
Yeah,
like...
with the concerns of how this could spread, etc. And at that point, you hear Rondadrol speak up. Ibelig. So I have a name for you. And he's not looking at anyone. He's kind of looking up from his meal into the fire, his legs splayed out, crisscross in front of him. Sorry, I was hoping Rania Ashfield would have different information in her investigations to Holdenford. But I know of this Ibelig. We have tales of him in the Highlands, and of the Andragos Jotun smiths that hold him at bay. I have thought I heard my god Cinder, and I was confused, for he spoke in a different tongue. I thought it's mere trickery, until, though my will is steel, my foot and my hand were stayed, and I could not approach Bilchester. The voice is real, Ibelig. And I think now that, well, originally I saw you, I wondered if maybe you'd be my doom. But now I understand that it is a chance. To go righteously. I hear him. I think in the course of trying to right the wrongs of this infection, that I might be undone.
You can hear him the same as... I thought you were saying that you were curing the others. Can you still hear the voice in your head? I'm asking the other, person he turned into a werewolf to, fix her, right?
Yeah. Maggie looks up at you. She looks over at Rondadrol. He saved me. I won't live without scars, but the voice... I am left with only the memories to haunt me now.
So you helped her, but does that mean you took it upon yourself? Is that what you're saying? Liberto?
I have eaten of my kind. I have tasted of their skulls. From what I know, that's how he gets to you. But for me, it was a matter of slaying the strayward wolves and of curing those whose time it was not yet to come. I held out hope that maybe it would pass, but hearing you speak of such fervor, I would like to die clean. If not of body, at least of soul. They didn't call me the cannibal for nothing. But it was all for the best, I hoped. Maybe this little quest of yours was clandestine for me.
Yeah, I think we have to go back. We have to kill Lord Einval. But we need to kill this thing at the root. And we don't know what that is. And we don't know how to kill it.
Rania Ashwild is looking into it. Those Aso Elun, if nothing else, they're some of the greatest detectives in the nature of the profane. Mayhaps you can meet up with her and deal with this at a later hour. I don't think the ghoulism will spread if it's already fully adapted to that city, but I don't know about these things. Clearly my ignorance has proven my own demise. So, just to be clear, because sometimes I think when role-playing it can get lost, Rania Ashweld went to the ceremony where the trials were being conducted, and basically found her way to the cannibal, and has been conducting an investigation to figure out what's going on out here, and has now left for Holdenford.
Holdenford?
Yeah, that's that.
Holdenford's ways away from here, isn't it?
It's due north of here. It's the next closest mega city away from Lemoore. Kind of up towards the Winterlands and right outside of the Gnarl Wood where Emery is from. It's also kind of like the capital of like all things dark in the old world. Like, it's where vampires can legally own property and monsters can roam the roads as long as they stick to the laws of chivalry, etc. It's a very
Sounds like all
anti-ret
these guys
place.
need to just Laminos that way. That's all. Just pick up the Bilford Shire, whatever it's called, and just plop it over by Holdenford, and everything is fine.
Just take this town
Push
and
them
move
there.
it somewhere else.
Somewhere.
But mainly what I'm also trying to communicate to the DM is that you can you can choose which one of these you want to do when. This isn't something that needs to be solved now necessarily. If you would prefer to go off and continue down main quest stuff, etc. So,
Rondadrol sounds like he's ready to die. So
Yeah, and I'm ready to kill.
Don't kill her under the draw.
we
You
need.
picked a bad time to say that.
Yeah, no, none of that.
I don't want to do that again. He's really hard to fight.
He's our little champion, but we've got a job for him on the main quest. So
Yeah.
yeah, just for reference, in Holdenford is your original contract owner, Vigor Mortis, Ilya. They're the ones who were paying you for the resources from what the elephant guy had in the woods.
Yeah,
that you're hunting down.
Gems.
And Vigor Mortis is basically a union for all of the restless, the skeleton people who walk amongst you and whatnot.
do you have stuff to turn into them?
No, I said no to that.
Okay.
I'll just tell him, like, nah.
Essentially,
He gave up on that contract. Like,
yeah, but I mean, you still could get that stuff because Kane Valak has
Elephant Man.
Elephant Man and all of the acorns. The rune acorns.
Yeah, but Elephant Man has also scribed my soul, and Kane Valak sounds like a tough son of a bitch.
Ah,
Yes, all of the above. Yes.
Yeah.
So which
I mean,
tough son of a bitch do you want to take out first? It's what we're asking, right?
take me on, I dare you.
Yeah, no thank you, sir. I want Einval dead so bad. Like, as a player and as a character, because Einval lied so he could cover up evil necromancy, which is like a one-way ticket to Stab Town if you get yourself involved with Ilya.
So-
I've decided.
So if the funny thing is, if you guys think about it though, Nash never had an issue with Ingval. He didn't see anything that happened in the windmill.
Yeah.
Why are you guys so mad at him?
He
It
just
was
had
good.
like your experience versus our experience has like you've separated at so many critical points that you have a very different
polarized.
perspective of like, I don't know, we had a nice dinner, I hung out at his house, we came back,
He
I
offered to
walked
resurrect
around
me from
town.
Yeah, like
What's the
I
problem?
don't know what's going on with you guys. Why are you so mad? Yeah, I would really. I think it's best because I don't know as a player or as a character that we can guarantee that plague won't spread. And by the time we get back to Bilchester, that windmill could very well be back reassembled in operation.
So, put an asterisk next to that. Because you guys have gotten some information, and I don't want to spoon feed too much, but Emery has determined that you turn into a ghoul from eating brains.
Yes. And
So there's
my understanding of it, I'm just going to say from my character's perspective so that you don't give me too much.
Mhm.
And I can run with my own assumptions or whatever, but when I was in the granary, what I saw before it all went to shit was that there were quite a few of the grain bags that were like bloody as if they and red as if they had something added to them, like say brains. So I don't know if they were just feeding that to their own populace or if they were sending that out more, or what.
Ugh.
Well, that's my assumption
Right.
based on Jawless Guy. We know that Einval, his desire to protect his people was exploited, but it's not the driving force behind these events so much as some profane evil got in contact with him and is using him for its ends. And that is what concerns me.
I mean, yeah, he could be lacing everything with corpses, right, and brains. At which point he would need more brains to do more of that with, but he would also need good grain to do that with as well, and so on and so forth. So, anyways, I just wanted to make sure that people weren't getting confused with like the bad grain necessarily making ghouls, because there's the bad grain and then there's the brains, which has been theoretically added
brain
to
grain.
some of the grain.
Yeah.
Brain grain.
Right.
Yes.
I understood that.
I like that.
Yeah.
Right.
Perfect.
But like I know there's the spoiled grain from Lamore, but also that the grain has been tampered with.
Yeah.
And I have no way, like that was Ilya's concern, and just gonna assume the worst, knowing what Einval is now.
Yeah.
So, bone broth, okay. Brain grain, no good.
Correct.
Insane in the brain grain, if you will.
All right, that's what you're gonna throw on the title.
That's very good.
All right, so you guys collapse in for the night. Get underneath the tarps to dry off. Eat.
Don't forget to recover from your shades.
Yep. Eat and relax. So you'll start off the next day fresh. And you will have a hot meal, so you recover 2 wounds. Over this long rest, you guys can either receive the benefits of a heal spell from Wretch or a medicine check. And you can do it in either or order. If you wanted to recover all your stamina first, do some of it first, Wretch, and then recover your stamina however you want.
Yeah, don't worry about me at all. I spent a couple strain and that was it that entire time.
Yeah, I believe it. You
Benny
just,
healing
you just
around.
yeah, took a little jog.
Without the shade damage, I'm fine. So I don't know where other people are at.
I'm
I've
like
got 9 out of 34 now.
12 wounds of 22.
Okay.
So she's the worst off. Besides,
I could give you both a heal before going to bed,
That would be nice.
because then I don't start the day -4 strain.
What a good pal.
All right. So Josh, I'm doing magic or medicine?
You can do either. You can either cast your spell, which costs stamina to do, or you can do a medicine check, which would be free to do.
Okay.
But would be affected whether or not you have a medicine kit.
I'll do a spell. I just didn't want to overstep my bounds.
Good.
Okay. For Emery first, this is a normal check.
1 and 2.
Okay. So that's 4 and 4. So then 6 and 2 after turning 2 advantage into success, which means 10 healing. Because
Woo!
6 minus 1 is 5 times 2.
Dang, boy. Thank you.
And Ilya,
That's me.
yeah. Normal check. That is 3 and 5, and I can move 2 to success depending on the
One
other
and
roll.
2.
What and 2?
1 and 2.
Okay, I'll transfer both over. So it was 3 and 5, so it flips to 5 and 3. Okay. So then Ilya heals 8.
Hell yeah.
And then I go to
Thank you,
bed.
sir.
All right. In the subsequent morning, you can choose to heal yourself if you'd like.
I will not.
Okay.
So, I'm sorry, this is just such a funny, like, mental image in my head. So what we really gotta do, okay?
So what you gonna do?
What you're really gonna want to do, okay, is we're gonna want to take Herendrop. We're gonna want to take a little booth, and we're gonna set it up outside of the town, okay? And we're gonna put a little sign on it that says "free vaccines," okay? Okay? And Herendrop's just gonna offer bites to everybody. He's gonna offer bites to everybody to get rid of Ibelig's voice, okay? And then we don't need to kill the ones that sign up for the free for the free vaccines, okay? I'm trying to mitigate the amount of death.
So you wanna, what you wanna set up a kissing booth?
Yeah.
We all know what you're trying to do.
That's hilarious. Herondadrop speaks up in the morning. Whatever you did last night, I felt as if it was distracted. The presence. I don't know what it means. But if you have reservations of taking on this vampire of Ibelig's, then maybe it is that your actions may render its defenses enough that I might join. But I don't want to give you false hope. Alas, maybe you're better off fighting him in the day than for hoping that there'll be a night or the cinder side of myself coming to your aid.
Yeah, we're not gonna pull that classic Dracula slash what's the new one? Nosferatu thing, like, we'll wait until night to attack the vampires, and they go, why?
That's what you did!
I know! We were not trying to attack,
But did we know?
we just
No.
fell into that.
I had no idea.
You
It's
guys,
not the plan!
you guys had no suspicion whatsoever!
We had a lot of suspicion that needed
Towards
confirmation. Towards Einval. I knew there was something wrong with that dude.
I didn't know
Right?
we were gonna get
Yeah.
surrounded by ghouls.
Yeah, like the giant scorpion corpse monster. No idea.
Yeah. And it's
The
not our
squirrel-sized
fault,
things.
because we
Wasn't
were
really worried about those.
trying to leave, right? We were like, yeah, no, everything's cool, and then he just saw through us, because we're not good at lying. Okay.
You
No,
guys had
what's
that
this
in
we
the
shit?
bag
There was
until
one
the
person
last
that was
moment.
speaking for us.
That's good shit.
The British are coming. The British are coming. That didn't work.
It did not.
You
You
guys
didn't get hurt though.
You guys all received 25 XP.
Oh my god.
Fuck yeah.
Oh,
Well, now
boy.
we can do it.
Oh no.
Oh no.
You hate everything.
It's because he has to make a decision.
And you get all your story points back.
Yay! That's a yay.
And your horseshoes.
See, it was worth me spending mine for you to get your mace back.
Yeah, I had no story points.
We
left.
gotta spend those story points. We can't
I
camp on them.
spent them all.
Yeah,
But if you spent that one and then hung around, I was like,
I would have
Fuck.
still had one more.
nice.
So I guess the question is, I mean, Holden Ford is, well, it's a bit of a ways away, isn't it? If
Oh,
we wanted to wait for, if we wanted to get information from Rania, and maybe Rania has a maybe longer term solution when she does come back here. for the rest of the ghouls, but are you thinking that, and I'm asking Ilya because he's the most outspoken about this, even though I can tell the fervor of the rat is there. Are you thinking we should go back now to go get after it, like when he's weak and when we're here?
I think that we need more information for a long-term solution, but we can't let this problem fester long enough to get to Holdenford to investigate. I think we need a way to be able to fight the ghouls there. And we know that they're allergic to sunlight. And Einval is the biggest threat that we know of and have fought. So I think it might be we get back. I don't know. I want to finish what we started, and I want to kill Einval real bad because I know that he's part of this. And I also want to make sure that they're not sending out contaminated grain and turning other people into ghouls.
What do you think, Gretch? I mean, you were right. Einval's a really bad dude.
I mean, a village has to be dealt with once and for all, one way or the other. Putting it off isn't going to help anybody. And I don't necessarily relish, murder, but that town's beyond saving. So,
I guess I'm asking if we
Get-
wait and get intel from Holdenford? Or...
I don't know if we can wait.
yeah, that just seems like you're asking for people. Well, again, it sounds so brutal, but people to escape and spread this. Or even not spread it like a disease, but hurt people.
There's also the Blades of Azrael.
Yeah, I want to find a way for all of us to be able to weaponize the sunlight. Like, how they have like those like kitschy little. Yeah.
The sun is powering
So I
up.
can't stuff any more magic into my sword or it'll explode. But I like the idea of my shield, like being able to absorb sunlight and then concentrate it as necessary, or to be able to use it as a light. But like, those little statues that you get where you're supposed to have them sit out in sunlight and then they'll glow in the dark better.
How much money do you guys have?
Not enough for the thing that I'm thinking of, probably.
Guys, I think we should just run away from everything and just go to like Bronton and just start a new story.
Yeah. Yeah, Bronton.
Or to Helstad, buy a boat and just sail the seas.
Yeah, like Ilya's good at that.
Yeah.
Didn't you already have a pirate campaign?
It didn't last very long.
Oh.
But so
And we never had our
about-
own ship. Well, not for very long if we did.
question
A little
about
bit.
Wretch's Holy Icon.
About
So
it.
if let's say I'm proposing as Ilya and as a player, if we could carve replicas of his icon and put one on Nash's axe and one on Emery's staff, and I guess tie it around my sword. Like, would we be able to use it, or do you have to be a paladin of Dahlia for those holy icons to actually work that way?
So you could theoretically create holy fetishes or icons for a god, and you could enchant them. But that would be in the vein of crafting and in script magic to a degree. That's definitely something that like Wretch could spec into, is like crafting holy items that do holy damage or imbuing holy damage into things. But it's not something that he's spec'd into. You could, if you went to like a priest of Dahlia or priestess of Dahlia at a temple, you could probably get things anointed and blessed in that way. So at this point, I would allow a very small temporary buff from Wretch based off of his cantrip class, essentially. Because I believe your cantrip class, isn't it mostly healing? Isn't that what you picked for your cantrip class?
Let me see. Cantrip class. Restoration.
Restoration, yeah. So he really focused more on the healing people and less on the vanquishing evil aspect that he could have spec'd into.
Right.
But he's got 25 XP, so I don't
I
know.
already spent mine.
Jeez.
Slow your roll, man. I haven't even thought about mine.
He just clicked the refresh button as soon as I said it, and his sheets are already.
He had a plan.
I just upped a couple skills I already had.
Anything in
Smart.
persuasion?
In coercion, yes, that works as persuasion.
Sure, that's an avenue.
And leadership,
Well,
That's something.
oh, look at you.
because we obviously need a new leader.
Ooh,
Oh,
Wow, there's gonna be some tension. All right.
nice, love it.
did you get points in sass?
Clear.
Yeah, coercion.
Of course. Yeah, he's heckling me. That's his love language.
Oh no.
Hmm. Hilarious.
So how much?
Josh, how many levels did you figure we had left? Like 5?
It's 500 XP
Before
total.
this one?
Yeah, it's 500 XP total. After base XP, but I'd have to look into the text chain where we were on that,
Oh, yep.
because everyone wrote theirs a little bit weird.
Oh no.
Just not a Discord chat. Not in here, no.
Yeah. I messed mine up again, so I can't tell you. All right.
It's in the text chat.
Yeah, for some reason my XP is at a weird number, like 590.
Yeah,
have
my,
It's sitting at 750 or
Mi-
something like that.
mine's
We have
also
total.
at 595.
I think it's.
And I have in parentheses 350 after starting XP, but I don't know when I wrote that note.
I hate you guys. I reverse engineered everyone's kits to confirm where they needed to be, and
When
then I
you told
posted
me
it in the
that?
text chat.
When you told me that, that's where we were at. But so we're probably at 375 XP spent. I'm sure I'm.
Mm-hmm. I'll find it later.
Yeah, I don't have my
phone
original character sheet.
anywhere. No, I'm gonna go grab it. Wait, good.
Okay. Okay. So, not role playing enough, probably, but like Emery doesn't want to murder an entire town full of people, some of which were.
But
nice.
it's not full of people.
Some
It's
of which
full
were
of
nice.
dead people.
She grew up really close to Holdenford, So she doesn't see things the same way as the other two, that their people are, like, grew up with skeletons and shit walking around, so she doesn't have she has more blurred lines than other people on those things.
Did you watch the short clip that I sent that Josh commented on about how skeletons can still bleed?
Oh yeah, because they
Because that's where the bone marrow is, and bone
Yeah.
marrow is what creates blood.
Oh, yeah. Nice. That's funny. But I definitely think Einval needs to go and everything.
yeah, I want to go
Like,
kill.
I
Where's he
don't.
That
go?
hasn't been.
My issue is that I don't know how to do that without the entire town going against us. But we don't know what the setting is right now either.
I'm okay with them going against us if we can make it out alive.
Can we just send him to rehab?
Yeah, I think it's pretty safe. You know, someone give me any sort of presence-based check.
Ask for the moon and stars, why don't you?
Oh yeah.
I have a charm check.
Yeah,
who's our presence
a charm
character?
would work for this. It's basic, or even just knowledge people. This is just
Knowledge
more
people,
so,
I
like,
am
understanding the folks.
excellent at. I'm gonna biff this. One
Actually,
success,
just
2
net that.
advantage. I biffed it.
Like,
I have a really
They-
good knowledge, people.
you've established that you have a really good roll.
I have a really good knowledge, people. I have 2 yellows and a green.
Everyone can roll. I mean, this isn't one of those, like, anyone can interpret this.
4 success, 1 advantage.
What you kind of gather is that, yeah, okay, if we're going down the route that Einval is manipulative and whatnot, and these people are already ghouls, and he already had them kind of against you guys
Mhm.
as he went in. Now that you guys have posed an even greater threat and had come into town and destroyed a major piece of infrastructure there, and then left for him to tell the tale,
Mhm.
you can probably bet that you're.
Oh, so you're saying he is alive?
As far as we know.
It's,
There's a very
the
good
whole
chance.
conversation you guys have been having is under the assumption that he's still alive. If he's still alive,
Maybe he has
you
amnesia.
can probably assume that this entire town is openly hostile towards you. That'd be
I
very
spend
safe.
both my story points to say he got knocked unconscious and wakes up with amnesia.
Einval just becomes this
Maybe.
I love that.
He reverts to his inner child.
That's not any better. He's been like this a very long time.
He
Jesus
cries.
Yeah,
He's
but
like,
Yeah,
he's
but a very
looking-
long time in relation to his childhood or the lifespan.
Yeah, imagine your inner child waking up as some kind of horrifying monstrosity.
Yeah.
You know, children rip the legs off of bugs, right?
I mean, yeah, children are awful, but like he was an abused child once, and that's how he got groomed. So he'd have some kind of soft spot for small weak. So what I'm saying is, we send in Wretch, and he does his puppy eyes routine like he did
That
before.
is not gonna work. Wretch is not gonna do puppy eyes.
I don't think he wants to
anymore.
I
puppy
feel
eye
like-
that thing.
I
Not
feel like
towards
we've had a very,
Einval.
yeah, we've had a very different experience with this campaign then. Wretch hasn't exactly been very chill about
This has been like the first person I've witnessed Wretch hate.
Yeah.
I hate them deeply.
You guys hate this guy more than Grimnod.
One.
No.
Or the grandchild of Grimnod.
Dude. One offbeat idea is that we have Lemoore, and we have some people in Lemoore that might be our friends. We have some people in the woodlands who might be our friends. Like, if we wanted to gather a larger force than just us and these two werewolves. You know what I mean? Like to attack
Now,
the city, but...
I got a flaming sword that I'm going to plunge into Einvol's head
All right.
during the daylight. Have you guys seen Midnight Mass?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you remember at the very end?
No,
Have you actually not? Or are you just being sassy?
I don't even know what you're talking about.
It's a Netflix show about some vampire shenanigans, very similar to this plot line, but
good.
vampire stuff, religious fervor on an island off the coast of New York or something.
Are you listing spoilers right now on a live stream?
What?
That's pretty messed up. You can't do
For
that.
a show that came out like 5-6
Yeah,
years ago,
yeah.
that doesn't count.
That
That
doesn't-
should
Hey,
limit
people
it.
still haven't watched Game of Thrones.
They don't need to.
I never finished it.
You're not missing out. But no, like we could take the roofs off or like bust out the windows in the town so that he has nowhere to hide from the sunlight.
There you go.
Yeah, but he's been out in the sunlight.
Has
Makes it weaker.
He
It does
Yeah,
make
when we
it
were
weaker.
traveling.
He's been out and about with you guys.
He did go out with us.
Yeah, so he's definitely weakened by the sunlight, and that will be the time to strike. And I have an invisibility cloak.
Are you sure he's weakened by the sunlight?
You guys figured that out.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
like they all are.
Well, they did. I've never been present for any of it.
And I have my story points back, so I could hit him twice with my siege weapon and fuck
Well,
him up.
ideally,
good.
I'll also just be there this time.
That would be nice. Yeah, that would help. Okay. I mean, if that's the plan, but I would like to do... If we're planning to charge up, I would like to be able to make my construct ahead of time.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
Okay,
mean,
it sure sounds
at
like we're
this-
talking about doing this right away. Are we not doing other things first?
Sounded
I
like-
think we need to whatever we are doing other than going there right now and killing Einvol should be done to prep to kill Einvol. That's why I asked about the holy icon. Because
At this point,
Yeah.
in the campaign, there's very few fights other than the ones that are more of an ambush. There are very few fights that you guys should be going into just half-cocked. Like,
Yeah.
the prep step is make it or break it.
What if I have ED?
Then take some Viagra.
Sorry,
you just got to accept your cocked status, sir.
Mm-hmm.
All right, understood.
Right.
What if we had Wretch's holy icon at the end of an arrow and then had like a rope tied to it and had someone fire it and shot Einvol with it?
Now,
What if we just threw holy water at him?
I know
If we
that
just
this is
Kill him.
probably pretty unlikely, but Drop, do you have any health potions lying around? Do you know anywhere nearby we could get some?
Oh,
I'll sell you one.
I'm not really one for carrying more than the most Spartan equipment on myself, but I'm sure. One second.
There's that little
Yeah, do either the healer
Rangers?
or the druid know of like a way to just make healing potions?
it's difficult.
No.
I don't know how.
I am not a chemist.
Can you just have your lady like bless some water that's in a flask or
I mean,
something?
Yeah, Emery can make health potions. I'm pretty sure.
They're really hard to make if I remember right. I don't have access to the alchemy stuff. Let me see.
For
Right,
how
right.
cheap they are, they shouldn't be that difficult. If we're basing the price off the difficulty.
Make my folder system.
Let me see.
Should be outlying area. Why isn't it here? Oh, it's Woodlands.
Ooh, if we can just stuff some Wizard's Bane down his throat, he can't cast magic for 5 turns.
There you go.
Uncommon. It's an uncommon potion.
Great. Back to this map.
So I'd have to find 5 uncommon ingredients or 10 common ingredients?
I'm sure Lantern Porter Hadley would have some of the things you want to be looking for. Perhaps Brunioff Snow.
Alright, otherwise, maybe I can find some things around here if I just...
Yeah, like,
Have a
you
look
guys
at
can
that
even,
little-
like, do a montage. Does anyone have any damage or crits left on them?
Let's just go back to
No.
the Buckums and annihilate all the soldiers quick.
Yeah, just real quick.
Like, you could just lead a scavenging party and spend the next couple days gathering alchemy ingredients and brewing potions.
Yeah, let me just see. People want to look at the alchemy stuff. Like, I can try to make stuff. It's if we can find anything on the alchemy stuff that would be helpful to fight him.
Do you have the skill of hidden storage?
I do.
That could make it easier.
It does make it easier, but I'm just trying to find what we should get. Because I don't. Obviously, Wretch does an impeccable job healing, but maybe there's some stuff in here that could make or break fighting, like Einval
Yeah, like-
specifically.
Yeah, like a stone skin potion or something? Or a resistance to magic potion?
Damage, soak, healing, damage, soak.
We gotta kill Einval. We don't need.
We're just gonna outlast him.
Like, necro resistance?
Well, also like being able to keep him at a distance.
Pinky swear. Sorry, I'm reading the.
So we all just
Yeah.
carry 10-foot long spears.
Or you could put
And
my sword at
surround
the
him.
end of a pole, and then
Yeah, but you have to be holding it.
I know. I just have
If
to.
you
bloody
if you activate the ult and then I grab it, your ult's gonna go away.
it. Wait, no. I just have to. I just have to bloody myself and use it, right?
Sorry, what?
Yeah, but if you bloody it and then hand it to me, it's not gonna do the same thing.
Yeah, you need to attune to it.
Okay, what if I was holding a pole, I blooded it, put it at the end, and then and then stabbed Einval with it?
Are you asking if you can turn your sword into a glaive?
Yeah,
Basically.
hypothetically. Like, what are the limits of that attunement? Where, like, do I actually need to have my hand directly on the handle, or?
No, you don't. But you to like strap a handle to like a pole arm to your sword and turn it into a glaive would be a mechanics thing and would probably break after a swing or two, depending on the quality of the mechanics check.
Or we should also find a way to repel those shades.
Also, a glaive is melee heavy.
Hey, that's me.
You know, you and your negative attitude.
If
What was negative about
if
that?
you cock the sword 90 degrees, it's now a scythe. Still melee heavy.
If you just held it by the very, very tip of the handle and stood sideways and just reached as far as you could.
Just not used to that much shaft, dude.
Just up your
Or-
brawn to 5 and you'll understand.
I mean,
But you can't do the same skill twice, and I think you already did it once, didn't you?
well, I haven't upped any of my.
Did you not up
main-
your agility?
No, I haven't needed to.
So
I thought that's
something-
how you got wall running. Because
something
you
that
up
No,
your
that was-
agility to get extra defense.
what I
No.
something you could do is with the alchemy, the named alchemy ingredients that you have, mainly like the invisibility feathers, is you could increase their potency by using alchemy to brew a potion of invisibility. Like, there's other options like that too that aren't on the list of the book, but would be considered like an experimental brew. Which most of those, since you don't,
Right.
unless you have the recipes for them, would be of a similar vein.
Okay, so right now I have 3 rare acid stuff ingredients.
That's in your face.
So if
You could splash them with acid.
Yeah.
So I would
Make
consider you as having the recipe for any of the venoms in the poison category for common. So the venom of maiming or the venom of killing, something like that.
We could
Well, but
apparently
it's
also just
too-
put them in a pressure cooker, get it really hot, and then throw it at them hard enough for it to break open.
You could also do like the goblin's piss and get them to start like induce vomiting, like lace food and stuff. Could be kind of cool, but
I do not want that. And you know why I don't want that. Yeah, no, gross. It's a very bad idea.
to get them to
Still like
induce
the pressure
vomiting.
cooker idea.
Yeah. No, thank you.
I mean, anything that killed Bull should kill him.
So you're saying
Well-
I only know how to make common stuff?
You can make anything on this list, but at the very top it says if you don't have a recipe, it's just the difficulty's one higher. Right?
How
I was
much?
just saying that if you make something that mashes up in line with some of the ingredients that you know have a specific effect, I'll ignore the recipe issue.
Gotcha.
And I know you have some recipes, I just don't know what you have. It'd be what your notes say.
Oh, I don't have any recipes. That's
Well, I happen to know one person in Bilchester who has a recipe book.
Yeah.
Is it Einball?
You'll just have to find out.
Guys, we have to go back and talk to Einball, get his recipe book, leave, make the stuff, and then come back and kill him.
Like, hey, I know we got off on the wrong foot earlier, and you
I
literally
really
lost
want to make a
one.
ham.
yeah.
So, like, Wraithbane.
Wraithbane.
And it's a tier 2, so that would cost me 10 XP?
Tier 2s cost 10 XP. But also, like, I would prefer that you spec into something that makes thematic sense instead of just picking something that suits the current situation just because.
Well, yeah. Well, we've had issues in the past with.
You a holy avenger all of a sudden?
Huh?
I said, you a holy avenger all of a sudden?
He's suddenly inspired by what Einvol has done.
I have Wraithbane.
You are an established holy avenger.
Yeah, I was
That
just
is
saying,
true.
I have Wraithbane.
I definitely want improved parry.
I could see it like Wretch's bond with you is developing, and he's imparting some sort of party-based buff that you are particularly tapping into.
Yeah, it's kind of tough with my weapon where it's got something that's so good that I'm not sure that I want to bother with trying to gamify the crits unless it drops it really low.
Okay, so in game I'm gonna do my hidden storage thing. It's just a simple survival check to see what I can find.
Sure.
Sorry, I have a few those type of things to do. So that's 4 success, 1 advantage.
Okay, you can either find 4 common ingredients, or you can find 1 uncommon ingredient.
Okay, I don't know how stuff stacks.
Or sorry, 1 that would be 4 common or 1 rare.
Okay, I'll do 1 rare.
Slightly better, yeah.
And then I want to try to make some what was it? the killing one. The venom of killing.
Sure.
Try to make that.
Okay. So it's you can see what it costs up top: 5 common, 2 uncommon, or 1 rare.
I want to do the rare.
Okay. I'll allow you to use your. You said you had some acid.
Mm-hmm.
I'd like you to spend one of those to attempt it.
Yep. 1, 2, 3, 3 and 2.
Then it's there, and it's back here. I'm giving you the ability of the recipe there with that one. Okay. What'd you say you rolled?
3 and 2.
3 and 2.
Mhm.
Yeah, you make a venom of killing.
Damn.
Okay, I'm gonna give that to Ilya. I'm gonna try to make another one.
Venom of killing?
Yep. 2 success and 4 advantage on a second roll.
2 success and 4 advantage.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you make 2 more.
Make 2 more? Okay, that's 1 for each of you boys. So you each have 1 venom of killing.
I
Very
love
big.
having venoms of killing.
Me too.
Yes.
What does Venom of Killing do?
Venom of killing is it's you have to like inject it into them and then it's
So basically,
1 damage hard.
if you have a weapon that does slashing or piercing of some sort, you can just put it on that, and when you hit them,
Mhm.
that'll just proc.
And it's
So it just does 1 extra damage.
Every single turn until they heal it.
so it's like 1 poison
Okay.
damage basically per
And
turn.
So, and it's
It's
only
a-
good for 1 attack.
And it's a hard check to get rid of.
yeah, it's 1 dose. Yeah,
Okay. So it's basically poison 1.
poison 1 hard is what it is.
Okay.
What is medium range?
7 spaces.
10 spaces?
7.
All right. 7 spaces? I think you meant 10. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I could just get defensive and get more melee defense and range defense. I do like defense.
And
During
then-
increases soak by 1. Okay. That's 20 XP. Yuck.
Can I try to make a healing potion
Mhm.
with 2 rare ingredients?
Yeah, I'm surprised you don't have any recipes.
It's not really something that comes up.
In here it says results are random unless you have the known recipe, but I will increase the difficulty instead.
All right, I'll grab resolve.
Three and 4.
3 and 4.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah, you can make one.
Okay. I'm just gonna dump it into the gourd that I had
Mm-hmm.
and just say I had.
If you eventually, you should start making some bard potions in the rare category, increasing people's charisma and charm temporarily.
Yeah, that's fair. Not right now. So.
All right, I spent all my XP. I got enduring, and toughened. So
Enduring. Which one's that one?
Increases soak
increase
by
soak
1.
by 1. Yeah.
Okay, so you upped your health and upped your soak.
Yep. After having a house fall on me,
You were
seemed
like,
appropriate.
3 less damage would have been nice.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep. Spent my XP. I got improved parry, and I got a rank in deception.
Can I try to
All
make a
right.
stamina potion now?
Yep. What do you have any named ingredients at this point?
I have 2 anti-acid membrane from Ralph's.
All right, I'll just increase
From
the
Ralph's.
now.
I don't remember what they were. But I think they were on the mountain or whatever, like
The route where the things spitting on the chains.
3 and 3.
Roll a d20.
$18.
Okay. You have what you believe is a stamina potion.
1 maybe stamina potion.
In parentheses, 18.
Okay.
But 18 uncommon.
Okay.
Alrighty. So, what?
Does anyone want... I have a health potion to divvy out to each person. If some...
I would definitely like one of those.
Okay.
I currently have 1.
Okay.
I have none after my little shenanigans.
Yeah, each of you can take one.
Yay!
Or if...
Thanks, Alchemist Emery, who's an alchemist and smart.
Definitely an
Thanks,
alchemist.
Emery.
Definitely.
Why don't I get thanked for doing heavy stuff?
You get thanked for doing
You do.
heavy stuff.
You do. Now carry me to the next location.
Is there any more prep you guys would like to do before heading out?
I'm gonna spend my XP outside of this since I just did all of that.
You know,
Yeah.
this is the perfect time for a training montage until we level up again.
Yeah, you could go do other quests.
True.
Yeah, are there any other resources? Did you want to go over to one of those other towns like Hadley or Lanternport?
Personally, I'm kitted pretty good right now, but I would, if we're talking about going to travel or going straight to Bilchester, if we traveled, I would try and get some more energy potions. That's the only thing I would be concerned about.
Yeah, I could use somewhere to buy stuff that's not a fire pit in the woods.
I do still have some ingredients if somebody wants me to try to make potions specifically.
I'll have to see if it's in the alchemy table or not.
Is it a stamina potion? Because I just made one.
Yes.
I can try
I'm
to
pretty
make
sure it'd be a
another one.
stamina potion. If it increases or recovers 5 strain.
Yeah. Right, Bubs?
Yes, that is. But I would strongly encourage that you buy a recipe book or something like that from a nearby town for some of those in the near future.
I hear an upset Ashara.
Yeah, she's grumpy.
Yeah, is there the possibility of like a better healing potion, or is it just like healing potion plus what 1?
Yeah, there's like a healing potion +1 or +2 or +3, so to speak. You're like, is there a
resurrection potions where it like takes you back to your threshold?
Jesus.
Dang!
Like, is there a way that I could just not die?
Yeah, I like
No,
how you're like.
I'm legitimately curious. Is there like a
Uh,
potion that you can take that would bring you back to stable?
There are, if you go into the alchemy book, if you go to like legendary potions, etc., and precious potions, there are things that would be kind of that nature. Yeah. There's
Oh,
much more simple. There is a potion of preservation under common that could be souped up to stabilize someone, as it is a preservation potion.
um,
So they don't just die immediately and keep taking crits.
what we really need is Ilya needs some pipe weed.
What?
It upgrades your agility, intellect, and cunning for a scene.
That's cool.
Yeah, I used some of that with my other character.
Yeah, if I do that, I'd have because I have finesse, so I can use my agility instead of my brawn for combat checks.
Or there's a boost to presence potion. Oh wait, what's this regeneration? Oh, it's just health and strain. What happens if I take a gunjack spice, which increases my brawn by 1? Does it go over 5?
Even know what your
There's some.
Yeah, it just says brawn increases by 1 for the scene. Blah, 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 blah.
yeah.
I'm just wondering if it's possible to even go over 5.
Yeah, I'd allow it for a temporary buff.
Oh, or there's a power potion, which is brawn plus 1.
All sorts of stuff.
You guys do the same thing I am.
I'm in the Genesis gear under potions and drugs.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah.
Oh, okay, that explains. I was like, man, where are you finding these?
Oh, potion of greater healing. And then you can, so it
Oh,
heals 5
cool.
like normal, but immediately make a resilience check to heal 1 crit with less difficulty.
Yeah, all that stuff is basic, like, ideas and open to the discretion of when making recipes and stuff like that for alchemists, etc. So at this point, I just need to know if you guys plan on doing some more prep before going, or what the general plan is here.
Wretch is ready to march on the forces of evil, but also Wretch would like to go shopping. Wretch is flexible.
I'm good to go, but I'm also fine with shopping.
So upgrade agility, would that like upgraded dice for an agility based check or what?
Yeah, so if you're rolling 2 yellows and 2 greens, you'd go to 3 yellows and a green.
Right. Would that also count for my melee light since I can use finesse?
If you say if whatever you're looking at says upgrade an agility check, that would be an agility based check if you have finesse.
Okay. Yeah, we should get some of that pipe weed. We can find someone who has it based on the rarity.
Gotta go get your ciggies.
Mm-hmm.
Hell yeah.
Could use a smoke after this, huh?
Oh yeah, I mean you guys are near the Highlands, so there's plenty of pipe we could go around.
Okay. Okay. So it sounds like more people want to go shopping than want to go violencing.
A shop to chop.
We must resupply.
Yes.
Okay,
I declare.
So Hadley is the closest town.
Yeah.
And that's where we shall
Lantern
go.
Port is just across the river from there. Lantern Port is more of like a military ranger base. So they would have a lot more Spartan-esque resources. However, Hadley would probably be more like mercantile. and give you better prices. And then obviously Lemoore is a little bit further away, but would have the best prices.
We ride for Hadley. So
Would
any-
saith second in command behind squad leader.
Yeah, I think
Would
that's
an- Would anybody like a Fate's End potion?
what's it do?
I don't know what that does. That sounds like
What it does isn't that amazing, but it launches the target 500 feet from their ass.
Right?
Oh,
Lovely.
I don't want that.
It's only uncommon.
Like I would actually allow that to exist in my setting.
Well, who wrote
Why
the
is
Big
it
Book
in
of
the-
Alchemy?
It's in the resources.
Yeah, all of this stuff has been profoundly edited over the years and
Well,
duplicated.
then go
and ripped
edit
out.
that one.
Better delete it.
I'm
Here,
sorry, I was writing engaging dialogue and themes
Well,
and
then go
backgrounds.
edit that one. What are you doing here?
Building everything from scratch. I figured,
Jeez.
like 70 potions was enough.
Amateur hour.
Okay, so there is a tavern in the town of Hadley called the Bagpiper's Parlor. Of course they're going to have pipeweed. So go should have the listed prices for that stuff there as well.
Oh god damn it! I just in the Book of Alchemy it does not.
In
the pipeweed is
Genesis gear, it does. It's
yeah.
10.
Yeah, that's in the gear stuff.
Yeah. As far as
But
what?
Well,
As far as recipes, the cost of a recipe is roughly equal to the same as the potion. So if you wanted to make stamina potions and health potions, it's 25 silver, I believe, for either. Actually, I think,
to
I think
buy them,
stamina
Sorry,
might be
you're
50.
talking to me and I wasn't listening. What?
stamina is 50. I'm looking at it right
Yeah.
now.
So it would be 75 silver to just permanently have the recipe for stamina potions, health potions.
How much? 75 silver?
Yep.
Okay.
And if you wanted to look at anything else on that list,
And a gold is.
gold is 100.
so we just teleporting to the town?
Okay, I pay it.
Yeah, right now we're moving into kind of a short sequence. I'm not going to drag this out. When you arrive at Hadley, which you've been here before, you recognize the sight of many people who are very worn out from all of the nastiness of both Bilchester and the Blades of Azurlam kind of ravaging this area, and the woodlands being particularly hostile as well. But seeing a community that is in need of your help and kind of shows you that not everywhere is completely monster ridden, re-inspires your need to do something about Bilchester. This town isn't very big. It's got a tavern and an inn, and there's one building that is of particular note that's kind of set aside and seems to be a focal point of the city is Friar Bertram's School of Scribbles. It appears this town has like it probably was built around the friar school there for school for pages, as well as being the town with the ferry to cross the gigantic white flow here. But yeah, let me know if there's anything else that you guys are looking for, and we can roll on the cheat sheet for rarity to see if they have it available.
So I would be looking to buy 2 stamina potions.
2 stamina potions. Okay.
Yeah, I'd like to buy
Here.
2 stamina potions and some of that pipe weed.
I'd love to buy a rope.
Would you just like my rope?
No, I want my own rope.
And scissors.
Well, I want to get rid of my rope.
Fine, I'll take your rope.
You now have a rope, and I don't have a rope.
Alright. Noted.
Okay.
How much is a gold worth as far as price goes?
Gold is 100 silver, and the prices are listed in silver.
Okay.
So you guys are at potions. Let's see here. Stamina potions for 83. It's been a while since we went shopping.
Yeah.
Yup.
Okay. Give me a streetwise check.
Where is it? Oh, there it is. It's never where I expect it to be.
2 and 2.
Also 2 and 2.
What were you looking for, Dustin? The same thing?
2 stamina potions and some pipeweed.
Okay, so the two of you each find a stamina elixir. And the pipeweed, go ahead and roll again.
Nope, 2 advantage.
Is there anything else that you guys would like to look for?
I need someone who can repair my backpack.
Okay, give me a streetwise check.
1.
Yeah, you're easily able to find someone who's willing to mend that for you.
Oh, that also reminds me. I need my great axe and my armor repaired, depending on how long it takes.
An armor smith, you're gonna have to go to Lantern Port in order to be able to repair those. It's gonna be. What's the price of a backpack?
50.
50. Okay, it's gonna be. Is it 1 damage or 2 that you got on that backpack, Reg?
1.
1. It's just gonna be 10 silver to fix your bed.
Yay.
How's everybody on money? Because I still have those gems I sold that I'm running off of. But I
have
think I
16
divvied that money up
gold.
between us.
I'm doing A-okay.
Yeah, I'm okay on money too. I don't actually know how to find anything that I want to buy with my money.
You want to just buy more recipes? Buy more ingredients?
No, I don't want to do alchemy as like a huge thing for me, you know?
That's okay.
So, no.
You could buy some sticks, so you can make stick things.
I like to find my own sticks. I don't want to buy these city sticks. They don't even know where the good sticks are.
Nash doubts your ability to pick out good sticks.
That's very rude, considering you've seen what I've made with my sticks. They're very good sticks. I might have more stuff I think of later. I'm not as good at on the fly stuff, if that's okay. I
That's
also
fine.
need to do my level up, but
we can do some of this between now and the next session if anyone wants. In town here, we'll just assume that you guys spend the next 3 days preparing, so you can recover all health and strain on your characters, and we'll assume from there that you're going to be going up the road from Hadley to Bilchester.
Okay.
Andrew?
I was just gonna say something, but then I was reminded that you said there's no armor smiths in town.
No, but there's just across with the ferry to Lantern Port. If you guys like to
It's
take
not
the time
that
to
important.
do that. Okay.
Well, I guess my one thing was, I'm wearing armor, of course, but would if I were to get a helmet, would that be an accessory?
Yeah, you can get specific, like a couple of specific pieces of gear. For instance, Ilya has the one gauntlet, right? So getting something like that would be fine for me. Are you looking for something in particular?
Just more defense.
He loves that defense.
Yeah, I would basically, if you wanted to get a helmet, I would probably house rule something like being able to add 1 rank to the one that reduces crits.
Okay.
As a like relatively cheap helmet that's easily accessible.
Do you mind if some of this stuff gets deleted from this list?
Like what?
These maps that aren't.
Yeah, go for it.
That's the-
That's fine.
Of this world.
Mm-hmm.
Can I buy a horse?
Yeah, if you have the money for it and roll well enough on a street rights check to see if there's one available in town.
How much does a horse cost?
That's in. Let's see, mounts.
I would have no idea where to find it. Because it's not a clockwork golem.
Think it's might be just in gears and tools.
Gears and tools.
War mount, flying mount, towards the bottom-ish.
Well, saddlebags are only $75.
Well, I remember when I bought my mule, I just told Josh I wanted a mule, and he told me what it was. Beast of Burden, found it, slot 42. It's 200 price, rarity 1.
Oh.
It's not a horse, it's a Beast of Burden.
Well, yeah, that's a beast of burden.
Mm-hmm.
Then War Mount would be a horse. That's 1,500.
Yeah.
Do we want a beast of
Ballpark.
burden? I would buy us a beast of burden to help carry things.
Have like
Very stealthy.
That Beast of Burden in the other campaign. It was tight.
We could throw injured people on top of it.
Yes.
Dude, Edgar would
Edgar
switch.
2.0.
So I could buy I can afford to buy us the beast of burden and the saddlebags, which it doesn't say what it does for some reason.
You can put stuff in it.
You can put stuff in it. Exactly.
Yeah, but I mean it doesn't say a capacity unless the capacity is +4 carrying for the beast of burden.
It's just kind of like a general requirement that it has a way for you to be able to attach things to it. So you need to have, you know, the creature.
You can't
and
be
the
naked.
Stuff on top of the creature. Yeah, like horse rigging,
Yeah.
lock and tackle.
I'm gonna look for a bag of holding.
Like a full-on bag of holding is not going to be in Hadley.
Oh.
They do exist though.
What if he rolls really well?
You know what? If you want to roll for it, go for it. Maybe the school has one.
You use your story points to upgrade your roll, both of them.
I have built all of the canon of how a bag of holding could exist in my world. So I knew this could come up.
It
Two
has
and
come up
one.
before.
Where is that?
Who and one?
3 and 3.
So I found it.
You're asking about. You're like, is there any way that someone could conveniently have a rift to an alternate dimension so I could carry stuff easily? And people are like signing, like making gestures to protect themselves about you asking about creating rifts to other planes of existence to carry on your person.
So I found it.
No.
Okay.
Back to the beast of burden then. I didn't really get an answer on the saddlebags because I don't know how to figure out how much the beast of burden can carry.
I have a thing around here somewhere on that.
Because it's either the beast of burden and saddlebags or a beast of burden and a cart. I feel like a cart would be a little bit more of a hindrance than what we need.
It is probably more than we need. I feel like Edgar could carry like 30 or something.
Oh gosh.
How much a wagon holds? It's close. Really? I've got wagon here, but I don't have a horse. So it's gonna be probably 20-ish encumbrance.
Can a beast of burden be equipped with a riding saddle?
Oh, here we go. So a saddlebags increase a mount's encumbrance threshold by 4, and a riding beast has a carrying capacity of 12. Beast of burden has a carrying capacity of 18. Hey, I was right. So 18 or 22 if you put saddlebags.
All right, so let's see here. I guess is our beast of burden. It's a rarity 1, so I should be safe to assume I can buy a beast of burden in town.
Beast of burden is rare.
I lost you. I didn't hear any of that.
Beast of burden being rarity 1. I'm gonna roll an easy check just because you're in an area during a famine.
Okay.
And so makes it a little bit harder.
1 and 2.
You're good. There is one for sale.
All right, I'm gonna buy the beast of burden.
Alright.
Let's see here. It's 200, so I'm gonna give him 3 gold for the beast of burden, a saddlebag, and tack, just like the harness and lead rope, that kind of stuff.
Yep.
That sound
Yep.
fair?
Yep. So yeah, just I would say that all of that is for sale with it. Yep.
Okay, so I'll make a note of that. You guys can continue. I'll do my notes here.
Okay. Well, it is 9:06. We started at 6. That's our usual 3-hour stopping point.
Yeah.
Yep. I'm just wanted to get things pointed and fired in the right direction for our next session. So,
Yeah.
we can finish up this whole preparation thing, but it sounds like you guys are going to be heading back to Bilchester to finish what you started.
Yeah, that seems a little too pressing to ignore, but I
Yep.
suppose rampaging sick god is also pressing. I don't know. We'll sweep this up quick, move on.
Yeah. Yes.
Would anybody like to put something on Bull?
Is that your new
A
horse's
hat.
name?
It's not a horse, it's a beast of burden.
It's a beast of burden,
A
so you've
hat.
got him.
Is it?
So it's an
I-
ox.
It's an ox. You got an ox. Okay, nice.
It's an ox.
Nice. I
That's
might
fun.
want to use some of the space if I get either like a tool, like an alchemy kit or something.
Like for example, we could easily all like just store our bedrolls on him.
Yeah,
If
definitely put my bedroll on him.
I could store my rations on him too.
All right, so 4 bedrolls is gonna be 4 encumbrance, so 4 bedrolls.
That's a huge help.
So you can remove that encumbrance from yourselves.
Yar.
How much does your rations weigh? And how many?
I have 6
That's like a
rations to put on him, which is 1 encumbrance.
You said 6?
Yeah.
6 rations for Emery. Is anybody else
Heck,
putting
rations.
rations?
I'll put 31 rations on him. What's this 6 nonsense?
None of us carry months worth of food on us.
Jesus.
You said you're putting
Nice.
31?
Yeah.
Just make sure you tell me when you're taking your rations.
Okay.
So 30 rations is going to be encumbrance of 6. You had enough carry weight to carry 6 rations? Or 6 encumbrance worth of rations? Because I was carrying like nothing, and I was at 13 out of 14.
Yeah. I was maxed out. I have an encumbrance of 14, so.
How do you have 14? I have 14.
Brawn plus 5 plus a backpack.
What, your bond is 3?
Yes.
So that'd be 8 plus 4. That'd only be 12.
Uh-huh.
Doesn't matter
I'm
now
happy.
because we got Bo on the team.
Nice.
All right, you guys ever